As promised, I have video number 2 from the first race of the 2022 OVKA karting season out of G&J Kartway in Camden, Ohio. This is Heat 2. It's a inverse of the Heat 1 starting order, with it being a P-pick format. So I am coming off in pole position. I haven't done a whole lot of pole position starts in the years that I've been up there. So I'm not really nervous about it, but I am definitely paying attention to what I'm supposed to be doing. So I bring it around, keep it slow. It looks pretty cool on the rear-facing camera to see the whole field behind you like that back there. And we're early in the season, so everybody's graphics are pretty fresh. Nothing's been rubbed off too much on any of these things, so they're looking good. And I'm keeping it nice and slow. The guy in the second position did a good job in not trying to jump ahead of me, and also the guys behind me weren't banging the heck out of me coming down through there. So the green flag flies, and I get on it pretty good. My Ghost Racing motors got pretty good power, and I was able to get far enough ahead that I could just come right across the track and not worry about hitting the guy starting in position 2. So right now, my goal is to hold on to this first place. It'd be awesome if I can hold it out for the whole race, which is a possibility because in a P-pick format, a lot of the, everybody's mixed up. So you have potentially a guy who's running like a mid 46 second lap sitting right in front of a guy who runs a 44.5 second lap. So that faster guy is going to have his work cut out for him to get around some of the slower guys that may be in front of him, because if you get a couple of guys that maybe aren't quite as fast as one of the fastest guys lined up, then he's got more people to deal with. So as you can see in the rear-facing camera, it's strung out pretty good at the front. I've got a pretty decent-sized gap back to third place. I don't know that at the time because I can't really see behind me, but I am starting to peek when I go around some of these corners and trying to see what's going on behind me. And there's a couple places to do that. You can't really do it around these corners here because you're really flying, and you have to keep your eye on the dirt right there on the right, because as you can see, it's dirt and not grass. It means a lot of people drive in it right there and tear all the grass up. So coming through these parts right here, you can sometimes peek over your over your shoulder once you get on the straightaway, especially since you're all the way out to the right. You only have to look to the left. But when you're coming around here, you can see out of your periphery off to the left and see if there are a lot of people there or not. But the best place to look is when you come around this corner up here on the right. You can kind of shoot a glance back to the right and see how many people are coming. So I'm hanging tough right now. The 914 is staying fairly close to me. As I mentioned in the Heat 1 video, he's running very similar times to what I'm running, so him hanging with me is no surprise to me. And of course, I knew the 86 was starting just a few rows back, and he's coming like to be expected. He was posting really fast times all weekend, and he's got those Comet Eagles dialed in. I think he's probably on about his 4th or 5th season driving one of the Eagles. So he's got it tuned up pretty good, and he's pretty used to it. So he got past the 914, and he's wailing on it coming towards me. And I think we're probably in about the 4th lap right now. I did run my fastest lap of the weekend in this particular heat, mainly because I don't have anything to deal with. I've got clear track in front of me. Every lap is a time trial lap until people start slowing me down with traffic. So I'm going as hard as I can every lap, trying to get the best time I can get. I'm still working on my Micron 5 to where I can completely understand what I'm looking at on it while I'm driving. I have it set up where the lights are going off for whether I'm doing better or worse than that sector the lap before. And I'm just still don't completely understand what I'm looking at when I'm out there driving. But if it's green, I know I'm doing better than I was if it was red. But the 86 does get past me, and he starts to set sail. And it's nice watching the rear cam because I can see how he's going through some of these turns, and he's doing them definitely a little different than I am. He's got a good little slide going around these things, where it's almost like he's turning in a little bit and getting a slide. And then it works out just right where he goes right around the corner at using the least amount of distance as possible, it looks like. He's really good through that last section right there. That's where he definitely gaps me up big time right there. But again, looking back, I'm, the 914 is pretty much the only one right now in contention to catch me and knock me off the second place. And if I finish second place, I did finish 14th in the first heat. I did get a rough driving penalty for knocking the 318 around. And so I actually came across the line in 12th position, but I got bumped back to 14th. So if I hold on to this second place position, the way the P-pick format works, I will have a total of 16 points. And the final grid is set based on your accumulated points. Now, the guy in the 86 right in front of me, I think he's going to have a whopping like 3 points. I think he might have been second or third in the first race, so he's either going to have like 3 or 4 points, and then he's going to win this heat. So the odds are really good he's going to be starting on the pole. And I will say that I do know that I hang on to second place right here. I'm actually stretching that out a little bit on the 914. I'm really going to have to screw up for him to catch me. And I'm going to end up starting with my total of 16 points. That's 7th. So I'll be in the 4th row on the inside for the final. And we're on the last lap now. I think my fastest lap this race was a 45.419 or something like that, which is an improvement for me from last year. I don't think I got that fast last year on this track, or this particular configuration. If you're watching and you race out here, you're thinking about it, this is a configuration 1B. There are I think there are 9 total configurations in the forward direction, and then whatever you run forward, if they want to run it backwards, they can, so you have a potential 18, at least, configurations that they can run on this track. This is a configuration that I do like as well. And there's the checker right there. So I hold on a second. And I think this was a clean race too. I don't recall seeing any, smashed up carts laying off in the grass or anything like that. I think everybody completed this race. So it's pretty good. So like I said, I'm going to start that final race in the 7th position. The 86 is going to start on the pole right there. In the background, you can see the 63. He was coming hard. He's going to start, I think, in the front row for the final. And all in all, a good race for me. So I will see you at the final. Hopefully I'll get that out in a few days. Have a good one.